Hey everybody, welcome to Mid-America Dirt. I'm Skip, and I am super excited to be joined by Cade Lewis from Bakersfield, California. Cade, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. So, you're an interesting cat, man. Start out by telling me how you got started out racing, like how it all started for you.
So I first wasn't really supposed to be a race car driver. Originally, my plan was to play baseball and follow my dad's footsteps and hopefully do something in baseball. But his brother always raced everything. He did late models back in the day. And my cousin got in a race car, and it was kind of like a joke at first, like, well, let's build me a race car and go race at our local track on like our Saturday and go have fun with it. And my dad kind of just knew that I took really big interest in it, and he was like, "Well, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it." And yeah, so I wasn't meant to be a race car driver at all, but my dad really saw something in me that I didn't really see in myself at first, and I just went full bore. Started out with a small little like mini Dorf with a little Predator 212 motor in it, with a full roll cage round, and got racing our like the small track and the big track basically. And
Okay, you said it's a mini dwarf. So, what did it look
yeah,
like? A midget, kind of like a
no,
ton.
so they kind of look like they're a full go kart built with a roll
Okay,
cage around it with like body
okay,
panels and stuff.
okay.
And it kind of just started from there, just like racing on Saturdays. Like my whole family did it. My cousins did it, and it was just like, we're gonna go race on a Saturday. Cars required no maintenance at all. Just wash it and just put it on the track. And that's basically how it started. And I mean, I never stopped from there.
So where did you go after that, or what did you go into after that?
After that, um, there was this like new style of like racing that like kind of started getting developed, was mini mods. They were a modified, like a small modified
Yep.
that just had like a it really didn't have like how you would see like the 600 or the 600cc mini mods that would run at like like shootout or anything like that. But these ones had a little bit bigger motor than a Predator 212. It was just like a Honda motor, and we raced that for like a season, and the class just died. Like no one raced it after that.
Wow.
And then I was lucky enough that the people that built those cars were getting into outlaw kart racing. So then my dad, after school one day, asked me if I wanted to go run an outlaw kart and like test it and possibly go race that next day. And I was like, yeah, well, let's do that. And got into outlaw karts for a full season. And I was lucky enough that my next door neighbor, he lived a few houses down from me, was big in outlaw kart racing. And we had no idea. And they approached my dad. We had no idea. And they approached my dad
Wow.
at a race one time. And they were like, would you guys like to work out of our shop and use our trailer? Because we were rolling around with an outlaw cart in the back of my dad's pickup truck, just pushing it
Nice.
back there and have the wing on top of it, and the thing would like send us across the road and stuff. I mean, just doing it without a trailer. And they were like, let's work out of our shop, work out of their shop. And we did that for a full season. Raced a lot that season. And I showed some talent, like nothing too major, where they were like, okay, he's got it. I would have a few good runs. I literally did not even win that in that entire season. And my dad was like, you know, the outlaw kart stuff is, you have to travel far for it. You're traveling 2-3 hours to go
Well, let me ask
places.
you
And
this question. Let me ask you this question. Where are you doing all this at?
so we would travel. Well, Bakersfield Speedway is my home track, which is like 20 minutes from me. And they opened up the small track inside the big track. They put walls
Okay.
around it, more banking around it, and made it into an outlaw kart track. And it was cool. Like everybody did it. There was big showings and stuff like that. But we were traveling to Chowchilla, which was like 2.5 hours from my house to go race. We did Hanford a lot, which is like an hour from me.
Okay.
Um, and we just really, I tore up a lot of stuff. I'm gonna be real. I tore up a lot of stuff trying to make something happen in the 250 class, and that was just not a good fit. So we were also like, this is how crazy it is. We were also super lucky that the guy that did all my wraps and all my stickers for my race cars, his son was getting into micro racing, and
Okay.
so he was running a restrictor, and his dad built a 600 non-wing car, which was the open class, and he was like, "Well, I don't want to race this car, so I'm going to rent it out." And my dad was like, "Let's do it." And put me right in a micro. We tested it, and I ran a micro for a full season, and that was legit. Like, didn't win, but I had some really good showings of like, I knew the racecraft basically, um like I knew what I was somewhat doing, just not like the fastest at. I think I jumped in that car at 13 years old,
Wow.
like
Okay.
super young. And like the first night out in that car, I won a heat race. My first time out in that car, I won my heat race. Started like ninth or something, finished like 11th in the A main out of like 20 guys. Like first night in the car, it was super promising.
Yeah.
And we just decided, like my dad was like, "All right, okay, we got something going on here. Maybe he can pull something together throughout this year." And I did not do anything. Like just kind of tore up equipment, ran around the back, and
So
it
you're
was
coming
just,
up learning the hard way.
yeah, I learned really hard because I didn't come from a racing background. Like my uncle raced, but he came from the 4-bar cars, and I was going into the midget side and the sprint and like the sprint car side. So
Yeah.
like no one knew exactly what I was doing. So only thing I could go off of was the car owner, and he ran um like asphalt stuff with the asphalt late models and stuff like that. And it was just a whole new ball game. Like
Yeah.
I've never been in a car with that much power, never had a shift off starts, and it just kicked my butt for a full season.
And those
And
things move too for people that don't know. I mean, those things, they scoot around the track pretty good, don't they?
oh yeah, like I don't even know how fast we were going because Plaza Park and Lemoore were my home tracks, which were like an hour from me. So I don't really know how fast we were going, but I mean, it seems fast. Like everybody's gonna say it seems fast, and I just kind of got my butt kicked all the time. Like I really didn't show like I had talent. It just kind of looked like, oh, we're throwing money at it, and that's basically what it kind of turned into. Is just like, oh, everybody, he's just throwing money at it to see what he can do, and then um the deal was is that if his son or if I won a race that season, we'd go to shootout. And he ended up winning the race, and I got the benefit of the doubt that we're going to
Yeah.
shootout. And we go to shootout, and that was probably my best showing in a micro, honestly. For whatever
Really.
reason, I knew exactly what I was doing, had a full season to lead up to this moment, and I looked good in practice. I go out there in my heat race, and I just how shootout goes. I got wrapped up in a wreck in my first race. I only ran both um the non-wing classes. That's all I ran. Um so I ran the outlaw non-wing race, and I got wrecked on the first lap, which sets you back right there.
That sucks. Yeah.
And then I go out there in the stock heat race, and I knew I could do something, right? I could do something. I looked fast, and I just jump a wheel and fall all the way back to last, and I run around last. Heat races did not go to plan for sure. And what stuck with me is because that moment kind of changed my whole racing career, where it was like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna focus on, and this is what I want to do. I quit baseball probably a month before that moment, honestly, and I just kind of took it serious, and I go out there for the outlaw non-wing D main or something like that, and I pass everybody and lead the whole race until I got outmotored by an outlaw motor, and I was in a stock motor, so I just got outmotored on a hammer down track. So I took second. I made it to the C main, and I didn't do anything there. And
Yeah,
then
making it. I think we talked about this before. Making it to C mains. I mean, how many cars is that thing, man? That's kind of an accomplishment right there, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, at 13 years old, you definitely think of it as a big accomplishment because
Yeah,
not now it's more common to see a lot more younger drivers do the non-wing classes, the super classes, and stuff like that. Like you see that a lot more now. But when I was coming up, it was like all these guys are in their 20s, like or 18 or older, and like I was kind of one of the youngest guys, and which was cool about this too is this is where my career officially started in full-time racing. The USAC midgets came to Bakersfield for their West Coast swing like they always do. And my uncle, I don't know if he was making a joke or if he was like taking it serious. He asked one of the dads that his son was like, because the son was racing, and asked one of the dads. He goes, "Who do I got to talk to figure out a ride?" And he goes, "Are you being serious?" And he goes, "Yeah." They directed us to Pete Willoughby, which is the finance guy for Keith Kunz Motorsports, and they directed, which my dad got his number. They started talking a lot into that moment, and my dad didn't tell me really much about it until we went to shootout that year. And um, Keith kind of walked up to me when I was after like my C main or something like that and was asking me about my weekend. And that's kind of when reality set in, like this is what it's gonna look like. This is what racing's gonna look like for me. And that season, my dad figured out a whole season for me, and I ran. I go to my first race with not even my first race, actually. I went to Port City to test the midget for my first time.
yeah.
Um, and it went good. I was testing with Gavin Bushell when he was getting into the midget side. And I honestly, this is how naive I was to racing. I didn't follow racing. I didn't have social media. Only thing I had was YouTube. It's the only thing I had on my phone at the time. So I'm like, I don't know who Gavin Bushell is. Like I had
You can't see it, but he's right up here. I got some signed stuff from him right up here in front of my thing. I'm a fan of that kid.
So I had no idea who he was until I go there and they were telling me he's gonna do a few races with Keith this year, and I was like, okay, I no idea who this kid is. And I test with him, it goes all good. I think I spun out like once, which is a given. On a tiny track with a big car, you're gonna be like overwhelmed. You're gonna try to do good in front of everybody.
Yeah,
And that was my kickoff because my dad went all out. He got a fifth wheel, so we pulled that behind his truck, and we went when we towed it all the way back to Texas. That was where the first race was, and we hauled the fifth wheel all the way back to Texas because we wanted a vehicle first off, so we weren't stranded with a motorhome and
right.
having to drive a motorhome to like McDonald's one day or something.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
So my dad and his best friend drove the truck all the way out there, and uh that was the kickoff. We went to Oklahoma. I flew in. I think I COVID hit that year or the year
Oh
before.
man.
So it was something around there. And the cool part is that's when school was online. So I didn't have to like drop out of school or do a different program. I was already online. So
That
it
worked
worked
out
out
pretty good
perfectly.
then, huh? Yeah.
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 So my first race in a midget was somewhere in Texas. I'm blanking on the name. Um, it was a big track. We had a test the first night, which was on March 17th, and my birthday is actually March 18th. And I was still 13 at the time, so I wasn't even allowed to even race the series until the official first race of the season.
Okay.
So I turned 14 on the first race of the season, which allowed me to actually run the series.
Okay. Well, that's
which
cool.
they changed the rules now. Like later on, they changed the rules where a 13-year-old can race the series because everybody's just doing it now.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was 14, and it was my first race on my birthday. Or I could be getting that wrong. I think it was somewhere around my it was on my birthday. I practiced on my birthday or I raced on my birthday, either one. And my first race in a midget in front of everybody, in front of the whole team, go out there in the main. Somebody flips in front of me, and it was right around the wall. And I just didn't understand the speed, and I smacked the wall and absolutely flipped so hard
Oh,
where it absolutely destroyed my whole race car on my first night.
golly.
On my first night with Keith Coons, and it was just like my dad was nervous that they were gonna be like, "Who's this 14-year-old coming onto the team and flipping his first night out? Like that does not look good at all." And anybody can say that. It does not look good your first time in a midget and you flip.
Yeah.
And
Were
it
you
was
okay
just
after that?
yeah, I was fine. Like
Okay.
I didn't know what a like a big wreck was. So it was just kind of like normal. Like I didn't it wasn't normal. It was just kind of like rattle in my head. But I was fine. Like I got out just
Yeah.
fine and I apologized to my whole team. They're like, you have nothing to be sorry about. I'm like, just destroyed a whole race car. I think I need to be sorry.
So, you guys, like, did you travel with, like, you say, you keep saying a team here, so you travel with, like, s- several cars?
So Keith Coons, when they go
I
to a
know he's
race,
big.
so they bring 3 trailers and they usually house like 6 drivers at a time. And yeah,
Okay.
so usually when they bring 3 trailers like that, it's 3 cars out of one trailer, 3 cars out of another trailer, and then three
Wow.
cars out of another trailer.
Okay.
But sometimes it vary, like who rented out that car that weekend. So some weekends it would be 5 guys or even 6 guys at some points. And
Okay.
that's kind of how they worked. They worked off of people. They didn't, and every single driver had a backup car too. It didn't
Oh, okay.
matter if it was in a different trailer or not. Every single driver had a backup trailer, and every single trailer served a different purpose. So like,
Wow. And that
yeah,
just, and they just travel all over the place
yep,
like that, huh?
yeah. All three
I did
trailers
not know that.
Yep, all 3 trailers travel together at all times. And every single
Okay.
crew guy has their CDL. So it's not they don't have hired drivers. Their crew guys drive the trailers everywhere.
Okay.
So
Now you told us this before. What kind of power do those things have in them?
it's a so when I ran for Keith, it was they still run them. It's the TRD, 4 cylinders. They turn about 405 horsepower.
Okay.
It's fully manufactured by Toyota Racing Development. They build sprint car motors now. Yeah, I mean, I think the midgets right now they weigh um it's like 1175.
Okay.
So and those things are light. I mean, with
Yeah.
405 horsepower and a 4
Yeah.
cylinder, like those things they get up and they get
Yeah. I
going.
bet.
Um so I mean you can imagine that. But every single trailer served a purpose. So like the black trailer, which was my trailer, um and it would have so at the time when I ran for Keith, Buddy Kofoid was still running the midgets.
I do know that name for sure.
Yeah, so he was still running the midgets full time that whole season. He was doing Power I, USAC. He didn't have a sprint car right at the time. So it was me and him and Brenham Crouch out of my trailer. So
Okay.
Brenham Crouch is on the High Limit series. Buddy's on the World of Outlaw series now. But it was us three out of the black trailer, and forget who was out of the white trailer at the time, but then it was Kaylee Bryson, Bryant Wiedemann, and I don't know if it was somebody else. I don't know who else was in the blue trailer, but all three of us were at that first race with the like that. All three trailers were at that first race with us, and I'm like, it was cool. Like Buddy Kofoid, Kaylee Bryson. At the time, they were still pretty big names because they had Mobile One, JBL speakers sponsoring them. They're doing big things.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Like you're racing with those people.
So the sponsors sponsor the driver
They
in
sponsor
that
the team.
situation? Oh, the teams. Okay, gotcha.
So the drivers would get picked out by Toyota Racing Development. So all
Okay.
Toyota Racing Development is all on their drivers. They pick out the drivers who they want to be in the race car. So Buddy was a picked driver um, from California for them to go race.
Yeah, and
And
Kelly Bronson, she's from right over here by me.
yeah, so they're both picked drivers, but Kaylee was already had an in because her grandparents owned Sawyer chassis. So she already had an in to racing that easy. And so they got picked up by Toyota, and then those were picked drivers. So Mobile One, JBL speakers, they all sponsor the team. They
Okay,
don't sponsor the driver directly, they sponsor the car. So
gotcha.
if you ever look at like a midget team where how it would be like Jacob Denny's in the 67 this year for Keith Coons. The 67 is the house car. Like that is the number one priority for them. And
Okay,
that is the Toyota driver that they picked out, and he is supposed to win the championship. Whoever drives the 67 for Keith Coons is supposed to win the championship. That's how it
okay.
works.
Yeah, I did not know that, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, so he is the man. Like that is the top driver out of the whole team. And it was cool. Like you're working with those guys, and I think it took a few weekends for everybody to get a feel for each other because we were all fresh. Like me, Brenham Crouch, and Bryant Wiedemann were all new guys. Like Bryant and Brenham ran the West Coast swing that year prior, so they knew each other pretty well. But I was the newest guy. Like no one knew who I was. I didn't really have a background, like a good resume, so no one could do research on me.
How was it fitting in with all them?
It was tough. Like, I mean, those guys are fast. Like you're trying to be as fast as them right from the gate. You have to be they how Keith wants you to be, he wants you to be 100% right out of the gate. And that's how it should be. Like if you're going to go race for a high caliber team, you should know what you're doing in racing, and at the time I really didn't know what I was doing. And Keith molded me into the driver I am now. Cause I mean I was racing with the fastest guys every weekend. Like and that's tough. Like
Yeah,
when you race
I
against
bet.
fast guys, you have to be fast. Or you're gonna stand out. Like if you're not fast, you're gonna stand out. And that's how it is. 100%. And I was the standout. Like I was the new guy on the Power Eye series, the youngest at the time. So everybody's got eyes on you, thinking you're the next upcoming guy that's gonna be the fastest. And that was not the case. Like that whole season went by. I think I destroyed two race cars, like fully finished them off, and I won my first ever heat race on the last race of the season. Like I
Oh,
went
no joke.
on a dry spell the whole season, and I won my first ever heat race on the last race of the year. But the second race of that season was like where everybody turned their heads because the track took rubber, which everybody can base that off something. Is when the track takes rubber, it's fast. It's
Yeah.
basically 100% traction. And I found the rubber first, so I made my way up to the front. Like I went up, I think I was in like 11th, and I found myself all the way in like 4th.
Okay.
And before everybody started finding the rubber, and then next thing you know, caution, caution, keep blowing tires. And next thing you know, I find myself in 2nd, right behind Cannon McIntosh.
Nice.
And this is where it just goes absolutely terrible for me. And I didn't know what wheel spin was. I didn't know how to keep my tires up, keep air pressure in them especially when it's rubber down like that. And I didn't understand what Cannon was doing by going all the way into like the soft stuff and keeping his tire cool. I didn't understand that. So I stayed in the rubber, had my tire hot the whole entire time, which was the biggest mistake, not looking back at it now. So then that restart came out and I pushed because I didn't know how to do a restart with rubber. So I pushed all the way up, like let like three guys by, find myself in 4th going into 3 and 4. And I fall back to 8th, smack the wall, and I
Oh,
finished like 9th or something. My second race in the midget, and that was like, I think that was my best finish all season. Seriously,
wow.
second race of the year was my best finish all year.
I
Like,
gotcha.
did nothing special my first year in a midget, and it was just a disappointment. Like, and you just looking back at it eats you up because like you have that opportunity in front of your face. You wish you could have done something way better, but you don't. And it ate at me for a whole off season. I didn't run Chili Bowl that season because no, I didn't run Chili Bowl, even though they changed the age that year. Didn't run Chili Bowl that year. And then going into the next season, I was on a tighter schedule because I wasn't 15 to run USAC, and that's what we wanted to focus on. So I
So what were
turned
you
15.
doing? Like pick and choose or what?
So yeah, my second season with Keith Coons, I was doing a pick and choose season. Like whenever I
Okay.
wanted to race, I would race. And I wasn't 15 yet, so I was still 14 for the full off season. And then the next USAC race was Indiana Midget Week, start of Indiana Midget Week. And I was 15, freshly 15, and I go straight to Indiana Midget Week, start my USAC career basically. Yeah, you would say it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even in a race car. Like I didn't sit in a race car, didn't do anything for a full off season. Um So I was first time back in the car, it was just like a whole new experience, like getting adjusted to the speed again.
Yeah. Having to
And
figure it out again, huh?
yeah, basically just
Yeah.
figuring it out again, which I wasn't used to because I took like 4 months off or 5 months off. It was something big. And I was just so like like what is the word? I wasn't acclimated to the car. Like I wasn't one with it again. And the first race wasn't the start of Indiana Midget Week. It was at like Tri-State or something like that.
Hmm.
And I did somewhat good. I didn't do great. Um, I did some slide jobs in the B main and made it out of the B main and ran like around the back in the A, which was good because that was my goal. First race with USAC to make the A main, and I did.
Yeah.
And at the start of Indiana Midget Week, everybody's there trying to get their stuff shaken down from guys that were running from Power Rifle season. And everybody was just there trying to get their stuff ready. And then I didn't do anything during Indiana Midget Week except for like the middle of the week. I won a heat race and I think I finished like 9th or something like that, which was good, a good confidence booster, but nothing
Sure.
great. And then my whole season just wasn't great. Like I just didn't do anything for 2 whole seasons with Keith Coons. Like that's genuinely how it was, and I can say that now. But at the time, it was a hard pill to swallow. Like saying that you didn't do anything with 2 years with Keith
Yeah, I
Coons, which
bet, man.
was disappointing. I destroyed a bunch of race cars. I ran Power Eye midget week because we were like, okay, we need redemption. Let's go to Power Eye and run with the slower guys, not the USAC guys, but we'll run with the slower guys. But they're not. I'm discrediting them. They're pretty fast, but they're not USAC level.
Right.
Um, and I'm not kidding you. I don't think I finished a single race that whole week.
Wow.
I destroyed front ends. No, that's a lie. I finished one race, finished like seventh. But
So
um,
were you just unable to get a feel for the car or what?
I just don't think I was 15, didn't hit
Yeah,
puberty. I wasn't aggressive, didn't know what driving, like really driving hard was. And I think that's what killed me. Like I didn't have the aggression that like how some of those guys had. Like I just felt behind the eight ball at all times.
I
Like
got you.
everybody had more experience than me, more time in a micro, which is micros are lead you into a midget. I had 20 races in a micro before I got in a midget, and it just like it literally killed me. Like that's how I can say it. And everybody just was faster. Everybody knows what they're doing, and I didn't. And it destroyed. I'm not kidding you. I think they counted like 11 front ends in that whole week. In 5 days, 11, or it was like eight, something crazy. I destroyed like three in one night. Let's keep that in perspective. Destroyed a whole race car in a whole night in a B main. In like, I was just driving over my head because I thought I could do something, which I couldn't. So I
Yeah.
drove harder than I should have. And anybody can say if you drive over your head, you're gonna wreck stuff. It's how it works.
Yeah.
If you're content with your 100%, then that you're not going to tear much stuff up. But when you drive at 150, trying to keep up with everybody, you're going to destroy stuff.
So, I mean, how did it go from there?
Um, that whole season just kind of disappointed. Like, and then come to West Coast Swing, I skipped Placerville, which was like the Placerville 100 or something like that. I didn't do that. I did Bakersfield and Ventura for the West Coast Swing because those were my last two races that season. And in my home track is Bakersfield Speedway. I get wrecked by Taylor Reimer. Absolutely junk a whole race car in my home track in front of my home crowd. And that was the turning point where it was, okay, let's start looking for a new ride. Like before that, we were kind of already in the scopes of looking for a new ride. And that was the turning point. If your teammates are gonna wreck you, then that's a big problem, right?
Yeah. You
I
got a bunch of
understand
sharks on your team.
we're all teammates. And people have said it like your teammates off the track, but when you're on the track, you're not. But
Right.
when it comes to dirty moves, you shouldn't pull them on a teammate that's going to jeopardize two race cars. It junked two race cars that night. It
Yeah.
wrecked Dominic Gordon, which was my teammate at the time, and it wrecked me. And I destroyed a whole race car. It ruined Dominic's race and ruined mine, which is dumb because it was three Keith Coons cars that all got wrecked. You know what I
Golly,
mean?
man.
And that looks terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm, I get a provisional. I don't do anything in the B main. I get a provisional. I run like 20th because my head's all rattled still. It messed me up. That wreck messed me up for sure.
Really. Pretty rough, huh?
Nothing like body wise, but my head. Like it,
I got you.
it messed with my head. I didn't have a concussion or anything. It was just a mental side.
Okay. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So it was a mental thing that like messed with me. And I go to Ventura. I had like 3 days off. We had Thanksgiving at the house. It was good, like a good reset, basically. Um, and then we go to Ventura, and I told my dad, I told everybody, my only goal is to make the A main. I don't care where I finish, but I have to make the 98 lap feature. Like that was the number one thing. And I did. Like I didn't do anything in the heat race, but did I took second to Tanner Thorson in the B main, or no, like your heat race, because you're the top 10 or something like lock in in qualifying. So I made it to the
Yeah.
heat race. Qualified 11th. That was like one spot out. It was really good qualifying, but I qualified one spot out. So I had to go to the heat race. I take second behind Tanner Thorson, which was good, locked me right in. The biggest sigh of relief, like
Yeah.
you
I
accomplished
bet.
your goal. You accomplished the goal that you wanted. And I think I got like lapped or something in that race or whatever, but that was my goal, right? And I told my
Yep.
dad he didn't care where I finished, but we didn't go all the way down to Ventura to not make the A main and my whole family come.
Yep.
So we made the A, and that was it. That was the end of my Keith Coons 2 seasons. That was it. And we had Chili Bowl lined up, like to go run with Keith Coons, and we waited that whole off season to go run Chili Bowl in January, and we did. And that was probably my like best run in a midget. Like seriously. Um
Yeah, yeah, was that with the same team?
yeah, with Keith
Okay.
Coons.
Okay.
So we had that lined up from the start of the season of that year,
I
like
got you.
going the 2024 season to 2023 season, whatever that was, we had it lined up. We were going to Chili Bowl.
And for people who don't know, Chili Bowl is like the biggest thing for midgets, correct?
Yeah. Like that was
Yeah.
my first time experiencing it, and it was awesome. Like my first time hitting the track, like the practice went good. I kind of got a feel for it. I didn't race all the way till Wednesday. So I had 2 days to watch. But the problem is I was still in school. Like I was still in school, and I wasn't supposed to be doing online learning. I was supposed to be in person learning at the time. So I really wasn't doing my work. I'm gonna be totally honest. I was just kind of sitting in my bed, just waiting
I
to
got you.
go into the expo center because
Yeah.
you just want to be there. You don't want to be sitting in your bed doing homework.
Yeah.
Um, got yelled at, got yelled at for that, but you live and you learn.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't race till Wednesday. I had 2 days off to do whatever I wanted, and Wednesday came around. Um, and your heat race goes all off passing points, and I had and the time KTJ Kevin Thomas Jr. was next to me in my heat race, but the car he was running was my future car owner, Dean
Really?
Alexander. Yeah, so I knew I was running that car that next season, and I was already chatting it up with him and stuff like that. And he goes, "Whatever you do, this is the car you're running next year, so don't wreck it." So you have that in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, "You just follow him." And so I did, and he right rears somebody, and they go flipping. So that was my only passing point. That was my only passing point all that whole heat race. I only got one. I started
Okay.
fourth, finished third. And then that set me up for the B main. Well, no, it got me in a qualifier. And then I got wrecked in the qualifier and had to go to the hot pit, and they fixed me and sent me back out there. But then I didn't do anything in the qualifier, so I had to go to the B main. And um, I started like sixth or something in the B main. And I told my dad that I was like, they just watered the bottom. Everybody's going to go to the top because that's what everybody was doing because I was the second B main. And the first B main, everybody went to the top. So I was like, I'm going to hug the bottom and I'm going to win this thing. And that's exactly what I did. Like second lap in, everybody goes to, like first lap, everybody goes to the top. I'm already in like third. And then everybody goes to the top again in three and four, and I run the bottom, and I'm already in the lead by the first lap, or
No, that's awesome, man.
it was like first lap or second lap, first corner, right? And I win the B main, and I didn't get an interview, which I was mad about because every winner at the Chili Bowl gets a interview, and I didn't get one. They interviewed like fourth
Oh,
or
that's
something
messed
like
up.
that, and I was all butthurt about that. And
Well, I
then
mean, I don't blame you. That's a big deal.
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get to talk on Flow
Yeah.
Racing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, but then I go to the A main, and that night was just terrible. Like, if anybody knows about the 2024 Chili Bowl, everybody knows that was a terrible year for Chili Bowl. Um, Ashton Torgerson fell out of his race car on Wednesday night. That night, everybody saw it, and I was the first car to roll up on him out of his race car.
Oh man.
He was laying on the ground right in front of me, and they're yelling red on our receivers, and I roll out of 1 and 2, and he's on the backstretch, and I see him like laid out on the ground. And I'm telling you, it's the worst experience anybody can see. Is like, because at the time no one knew how his condition was, so I thought he was dead.
Oh
Like,
man.
you don't see a race car driver out of his race car, and his race car's in 3 and 4, and he's on the back straightaway.
Yeah.
So your first thought is he's dead, and then the crowd starts cheering, and then everybody kind of like cheers with it, and you're just kind of going along with it, but no one knows his true condition. And then when reality really set in is when they tell all the drivers to get out of the race car, which is really weird. All of our race cars are on the track, and they're telling us to get out of our race cars. That's not how it works. Something happened. And so they have a drivers meeting with all of us of like saying, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue, or we can stop this race? Like, whoever's in the lead wins it right now. Every single person gains 1 spot, and that's it. And everybody's like, no, we're racing. The fans came for a race. We're gonna race. And that's when reality set in for me, is because I raced with Ashton my whole micro season. Like, he's from California, well, actually from Arizona, but I raced with him every single race. So
Yeah.
you kind of know this guy. I didn't really talk to him, but you know him. And my crew chief comes down, and first thing I asked for was my dad. Like, my dad wasn't allowed on the track, but I wanted my dad because you're 15 years old, and it's a pretty traumatizing experience, and you're asking for your dad. Like,
Yeah.
who you supposed to go to? So I asked for my dad, and then as soon as I saw my dad, I broke down. Like, I'm man enough to admit it. I cried right then and there in front of everybody. Like, that's something that you can't get out of your head. To this day, I know he's fine, but you still can't get out of your head.
Right. Right.
And my dad gave me the choice, is you can get in the race car right now, or you can like just not race. And I told him, I was like, if I don't get in this race car right now, I don't think I'll ever get in a race car again. And that's the truth. Like, if I don't get in right now, I'm not ever gonna get in a race car again. Like, I'm gonna have too big of a fear to get in. So I sucked it up, got my race car. Everybody was in the race car, by the way. Keep in mind, everybody on the track is in the race car. The only guy not in his car. So everybody's waiting on me, which is a weird feeling to have, because everybody's waiting on you to put your belts on, and I was the youngest guy, except for
Yeah.
like Brent Cruz or something like that. I was like the youngest guy in that race. So it was different. So everybody's waiting on me, wait for me to strap up, and I just kind of roll around way too cautious um to really race. So I was just kind of putting around, which is fine because I needed that. I needed to get in the race car, feel the speed again to kind of like get my mind out of it. And then Chili Bowl was ruined for me after that. Like, the vibe was just not there
Oh
for the
man.
next 2 days because he didn't come to the track till Friday, like after he got released.
Yeah.
So the vibe on Thursday was just not there. The pits were dead all after my race on Wednesday because everybody thought he was dead. Like, they said he was responsive, but he wasn't moving anything. So everybody's just kind of got that thought in the back of their head, like, it was just rough. And
Yeah.
then come Saturday, and my only goal was to make it past opening ceremonies. And I told you this when we were on TikTok.
Hmm.
It was the only goal to make opening ceremonies. To be in my driving suit for opening ceremonies, get take my hat off and do the pledge, really like stand there for the national anthem and be in my driver's suit. And that's what I wanted. And I did. I got out of the D main, took second in the D main, and then the C main came around. And if anybody's ever watched Chili Bowl before, they know the C main is always right after they do the track groom. So it is
Yeah.
hammer down. And if you're in the front, good for you because that's where you're staying. If you know how to race, you're going to stay up there.
Yeah.
Everybody in the back, you're screwed. And
Now,
that's
for
the
people
truth.
that don't know, you made it to the C main. How many mains are there usually? It goes way down the list, right?
Gosh, there's
I've
like
seen F's even further back, maybe.
it
Right?
goes, yeah. There's it's crazy, and that
Yeah. There's a
and every single one has two. So it'll go like
yeah.
the K main one, K main two, and then it will go, and it just it's insane on how many races there is.
Yeah. How many cars do you think are actually at that usually? How many cars do you think were there? Do you know how many were there when you were there the last
Uh,
time?
I think it was close to 400,
Yeah.
400
That's a
cars.
bunch of daggum cars. It
Yeah,
is.
it was a lot of cars. And to make the C main, which is because there's two C mains, two B mains, and then there's one A. So to make top 100 guys at the Chili Bowl, it's a pretty big accomplishment
Big deal.
at 15.
Yes, sir.
Um, so that was basically my Chili Bowl experience. Uh, it was something else. I mean, for what it was cool, and I haven't gone back since. I had a ride lined up last year and it fell through, and I've never gone back since. So I don't even know what I could do now with technically 4 years of midget racing. I don't know what I could do now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? But
Oh
hey,
yeah.
tell folks what you're doing right now, because we're gonna have to save the rest of it for part two here at some point. But tell folks what your plan is at the moment and what you're doing.
So right now I'm attending the Fab School in Rancho Cucamonga. It is a full fabrication school. So they teach you how to do MIG welding, TIG welding, exhaust work, carbon fiber. Um, it's basically everything to teach you how to build race cars.
That's
This
awesome.
school is a this school was closer to my house, so that's kind of why I chose it. But they focus it more on the off-road scene, so more like Baja 500 stuff like that. But it's still all the same stuff because all chassis are built out of
Right.
chromoly. So it's all the same stuff at the end of the day. And it might not be okay. We're teaching you how to build sprint car chassis, which is I don't think most schools even teach you how to do that anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure they do. I don't know. I
So
don't think UNOH. I don't think they do sprint cars up there.
yeah, so like I mean, kind of why I chose it. It was close to the house. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm having a great time here. I'm in my start of my fourth week. Out
Yeah,
of a
how's it
6 month,
going? Going
out
pretty
of
good.
6 months. So yeah, it's going great. Um, I already took, I think it was like I'm on my third or fourth weld test already. I've got all. I passed my first one with like a 99, second one with like a 98, and then I built a table, welding table, and got graded on that. I got a 98 and I was mad about it because I messed up on my spacing on my welds,
Yeah.
which is whatever. I'm not too mad, like frustrated about it, but
So
um
you're gonna have racing driving experience and be able to I mean to work on them. That's pretty
yes,
cool.
that's my goal. Like at the end of the day, I want to own my own race team. Like if it's building my own race cars or buying my own race cars and having people drive them, that's my goal. Like I want people to drive my own race cars and I'm the guy that sets them up. That's what I want.
Yeah, that'd
But
be awesome, man.
I want to I've said this to a bunch of people. I want to change the way that racing is. Like I want to change on how if you got money, you got to ride. Like I hate that. And that's kind of the
Yeah.
way I grew up. But I hate the way that is. I hate the way that people if you have money, you're going to be able to race. I don't
Yeah.
like that. And there's a lot of people out there that have so much talent but don't have the money to go race.
Yeah.
Like
I hear that's pretty prevalent in like your, you know, that side of the racing thing. You know what I mean?
it's all bought rides. Everybody buys rides here in midget racing and sprint car racing. If you have money, you're going to be able to afford a ride. And I've said I want to find a guy like a dad and a son where they're showing up on a flatbed trailer and their race car is mismatched. Like everything's just different on the car. And I want to find them and offer them to drive my race car. And because my goal is to have one of the best race cars, best looking race cars, best race car as soon as it hits the track.
Right.
And I want to like pick somebody out like that and be like, you come race my car free of charge. Only thing I ask you
Yeah.
guys to do is pay for your pit pass. That's all I want. You can drive this car for free. If you blow the motor up, I pay for it. I want to take that out of somebody's hands because not a lot of people do that opportunity anymore. And it
Yeah. I mean,
sucks.
I would say that's pretty rare.
Like, you don't hear much people being like, come drive my car for free, especially at the micro ranks or even lower than that. Like, you don't ever
Yeah.
see that. And I think that is the problem with racing is that if you have money, you're gonna be able to afford a ride, and if you don't, then you're just SOS. Like,
Yeah.
and that's it's hard to even swallow that because like kids that have the dream that have iRacing, because anybody can buy iRacing, but the kids that have the dream to go race a real car that have who have iRacing and stuff like that, and they can't afford it, then that will never come true for them. And the parents that do try to make that dream come true, that barely can afford it, they're not in a great car to even show their talents off.
Yeah.
And I want to take that out of the equation, and that's something I want to change. And if it
Well,
means if it's with my car or somebody else's car, like that's what I want to change about racing.
that'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
mean,
joke. That would be awesome.
yeah, I mean, I want to change it because that got taken out of my hands. Like it was all about how deep is your pocket? And I came from a very wealthy family. I came from very well off parents. My dad did very well for himself, and I that's where I came from. And everybody knew my last name in Bakersfield, so they knew on how much money we were willing to throw at it, and that's what everybody came after. Like for some people, it'd be like, "Hey, here, this ride's $1,500," but for you, 3 grand. Like they just knew how to upcharge you because they know we're
Oh
willing to
man.
pay it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that just sucks. And I don't like how that is.
I hear you, man.
And it's something that I had to figure out my own my last season of racing because I haven't gotten a race car since West Coast Swing last year. Um, I found my own sponsors. Like my parents said, if you want to race, you're gonna have to find sponsors, and that's what I
Okay.
did. And because I wasn't planning on running a fourth year of midget racing, like I wasn't even planning to run that season. Like it was supposed to be just done right from there. And I was like, well, let's figure something out because I want to finish off my career with a championship. And that's what I did. I found sponsors, had people help me out, and it was the send off. Like my car owner sold all of his equipment after that. I won the
Wow.
championship, and that's what he wanted to win the championship, and he would be done, and I would be done. It's exactly what we did.
That's
And
awesome, man.
I haven't been in a race car since. So I guess I can go off as a champion, I would say.
Heck yeah. That is
So
awesome, man. That is awesome.
yeah,
But I want to hear more about it. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk again. So let's uh let's save that for part two. And we'll
yeah.
have a part two later on in the year. Let's do that.
All right. I'm
Cade, man,
always up to talk.
this has been a super interesting talk, man. It was
Yeah,
interesting listening to you. It really
yeah.
was.
I come from a lot of years in the different type of dirt racing, and I kind of saw it
You do.
firsthand. And no one's really heard my story, so it's cool that I finally get to talk about it and and basically tell everybody about what it's like from the inside. Like it's
Yeah, and
something.
you're different than because I don't have a lot of sprint car drivers. Um, Matter of fact, I just have some young fellas, that are getting into the winged outlaw stuff. So it's really interesting to hear that. You're the first midget driver that I've had
Hey,
on here, so that's pretty
that's an
cool.
accomplishment. That's an accomplishment
It's an accomplishment for me, for
for
sure, man.
sure.
Hey, no joke. Thanks for coming on here, and I definitely want to get you back on here if you want to do it. Part two later on.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'm
super
I'm
awesome.
always up to talk. I'm always open to talk. So of
Well, I appreciate it, man. No joke. Thanks for coming on.
course, thank you for having me.
Here goes the 5K car. Cade Lewis out of Bakersfield, California. The Wireless 101, Mobile 1, FK by SBS. Number 5K, Dean Alexander earned Hot Rod. Still hustle it down into the corner. Lewis has had pretty good stout runs out here as well. Lap number 1's going to be second quick, a 13.065, 13065. Needs a little over a tenth of a second to get the top spot away from Wiedemann. As he pushes hard down into the corner. Brings it around. Good looking lap that time for the 5K car. Quick time 12.887, 12.887. Lewis goes P1 for the 5K.